But see, what they've really occulted, they've occulted or hidden, that's all the word occult means, hidden. They have hidden a form of knowledge that is the absolute most deeply occulted thing in the entire world, and it's what enables them to keep their control going and going. And that is what the actual difference between good behavior or right behavior and bad behavior or immoral behavior. People do not understand worldwide the actual objective difference between moral behavior and immoral behavior. And that is the occult knowledge that has allowed the cabal of sorcerers, of mind-controlling sorcerers that really has the ultimate form of power in our world, which is power over the human mind, to continue their
Let's talk about what you're saying is the ultimate occult secret. On the other side with Mark Passio, whatonearthishappening.com, I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com and Newswars.com. Only way these sites get out is you hand sharing them, and it changes the world. Don't think you doing that's a small thing. It's the biggest thing, putting your free will into action with truth. You couple those together, it changes the universe. We'll be right back. You know, there's a lot of laws to the globalists, to their Satanism, and I've just observed them growing up. That's the best intelligence. It's not going off what's in books or what people say, but what they do. Like Christ said, you judge a tree by its fruits. And with these globalists, these Satanists, most of them are minions. They just follow orders, and they're so unhappy. They're miserable people. They're ugly. They're stupid. They always are going around on these bizarre power trips. They're really unconscious. But their main mission is burn things down, destroy things, and then build ugly edifices to themselves. It's really like cancer. It's malfunctioning individuals. Like that group of photos right there. Those are real photos. That was David Rockefeller at what, 97? Kissinger about 8 years ago, and that's a recent photo of Soros. And somebody asked me once, what would you give for your eyes? $1 billion, $2 billion? Well, you're like, the answer is nothing. Because you've had sight, you've seen it. What about your essence, your soul? Well, that's priceless. But see, if someone woke up born without eyes, you can try to program them and trick them to believe whatever fantasy you wanted. So the occult is really about keeping your eyes from being open and seeing what's happening. And then you think you're getting the secrets because you're in the dark and you need them to tell you what to do. And so for me, that's really the biggest secret is that it's men putting themselves between us and the Creator and God and trying to get us to malfunction and engage in sin so that they have ways then to get more control of us, and it's really just a cancerous exercise. But Mark Passio, short segment, long segment coming up. Get into this big secret from your perspective, your research, about the deepest occult secret.
Well, it's very appropriate that you would bring up the eye, because that's where the word occult comes from, the Latin noun oculus, which means eye. And then occultare is the verb in Latin, which means to hide or to conceal from the eye, to conceal from sight. It's all based on the same root word. See, they don't want us to be able to see, but what don't they want us to be able to see is the ultimate question. And in my years of researching the occult, of being involved in it, the ultimate hidden knowledge, the ultimate thing that they want to occult from our vision is the objective difference between right behavior and wrong behavior. In other words, what is the difference between a moral action and an immoral action? Because if you can do that, if you can get people completely confused as to what right and wrong actually are in nature, okay, you will have them acting against the laws of the Creator of the universe in no time flat.
So they're making us rudderless so they can wreck us.
They want the destruction of the human soul, without any doubt, without any question. They want a society where the souls of the individuals have been completely destroyed. And as you said, they build up a tyranny upon the edifice of those former souls that are now completely destroyed, that cannot see the difference between right and wrong and cannot even see that they are now slaves. See, they have occulted what a right is and what a wrong is. this evidence could be fully proven and shown. All any of your listeners or viewers have to do is go out on the street corner and do a little social experiment and ask people if they can give the correct definition of what a human right is. A right is an action that does not initiate harm to another sentient being. Human beings will not be able to do that. They will not be able to give the correct definition. 99.99% of the human population does not know that definition.
And now they're making it where AI computers put fake news in front of everything you even try to search. I mean, this is getting deep quick.
Oh, the search engines aren't even showing people results of what's available on the internet. The paradigm shift has to be made technologically in people's minds that what you are searching. You don't get something from a search engine. You have to go to the URL. Pretty much, and hopefully sites that index a lot of content, they have their own search engines built into the site. See, a search engine is only showing you like maybe a 0.5%.
But notice how it suddenly clicked. And we've had this giant societal de-evolution, and I see it clicking faster and faster to where just in a few years, we're going to be deep inside the New World Order.
I think we're already there. I mean, we're already there as far as anything regarding our rights is concerned. See, if you can't correctly define and understand what a right is, you're quickly going to lose them. You know, we don't know what our rights are. We think that certain people have rights that others don't. We don't understand that everyone has all the same rights, because any action that initiates harm against another sentient being, if anyone does that, that's a wrongdoing. Therefore, everyone has the same rights. We can do the rights that don't initiate harm.
That's right. You don't have the deed to hurt somebody else.
That's right. We can't grant that to anybody. You know, we believe that we can conduct these religious ceremonies and signing of papers and grant rights that other people don't have. And the ego is in the way to understanding this. See,
well, that's the new nobility. They're actually saying if you're all these supposed protected groups, you're this new royalty because the crown, the government has bestowed it to you. That itself is a very satanic act.
Sure, that they want to place their little, run-of-the-mill, rank-and-file minions, in front of the people.
So let me ask you this: what was the satanic exercise of these 4 blue states saying we're ordering COVID patients into nursing homes, knowing it was a death sentence and half the deaths? It was just a raw. And when those governors would get up and talk about it, they'd go, "I know I'm being criticized, but I'm doing it," and they'd really like little demon dances. This is a public sacrifice.
It's a total human sacrifice ritual. That is what it really is. That is a human sacrifice ritual, and it is done during the time of the year. This was all done during the time of the year known as the occult season of sacrifice, which is a satanic season of the year between the spring equinox and the midpoint of spring, which is May 1st, Walpurgisnacht. And this all took place during, that's the satanic high holiday.
And they believe they're getting power off of it. I mean, Newsom literally looks like he's having an orgasm now when he talks about death. These people are sick.
Well, again, he's for, murdering babies in the womb. These people are, as I said, de facto Satanists. It doesn't matter whether you could trace them to an actual society or organization that officially practices Satanism and satanic practices. It's irrelevant. They're Satanists by their actions. They're de facto Satanists.
No, but I totally agree. But to get into their mafias, you have to commit crimes. It's different uniforms, but it's the same cult. Yes. And from my experience, at that level, most of them actually are devil worshippers.
Absolutely, it goes up to that level at the higher levels. At the level I was involved in, I was not involved in crimes in the occult. So they didn't care when I wanted to get out. It was like, go do whatever you want. Go tell people whatever you think you understand. You're not going to be able to hurt us. Unless you actually have committed.
Well, what about me though? They tried to get me involved in crime right away. They tried to get me involved in crime right away.
Sure. I mean, that's one of the things they'll do to suck people in, to have blackmail data on them. That's why they exercise in pedophilia. That's why they engage in pedophilia. This is all a blackmail, right, to get people, basically doing their bidding. Otherwise, they threaten to expose them and expose their involvement with children, sexual involvement with children.
Yeah, the stuff I saw was nothing to do with children, but it was definitely some bad stuff. We're going to come right back, and I never got into the Satanism, folks. I was literally lured repeatedly to these things. I mean, we're talking helicopter pads, castles, man. I mean, these people have castles. in Texas. And it's just like, you're like, all I wanted was this super hot chick. And now I'm at a damn black mass with billionaires. And it's crazy. We'll be right back, folks. Stay with us. It's everywhere. It's a secret invisible empire, and exposing it like the sun will burn up the metaphysical vampires. Mark Passio is our guest. Old Melinda Gates. He's from Dallas. Yeah, her dad was involved in the Skunks Works and all the rest of it. Like a lot of other folks, those aerospace engineers are in the club, a lot of them. And I never saw her in the run-ins I have with these Satanists. But if you want to know what Satanists look like in Dallas, because you couldn't swing a stick in the dark and not hit one, that's exactly how they dressed, exactly how they looked. But behind the scenes, boy, it's all about how they're cunning, they're smart, they're in charge, they're feeding on everybody else. And it's all just a big joke, and they deserve to rule because everybody else is an idiot. But they engineer things to make you as dumb as possible. It's not like they challenge you right up front, you know, and give you a level playing field. So I was never in the occult. The occult was everywhere. And then you look at what these people turn into and who they are. They're jokes, they're slaves, they're sucked out. I didn't run into any of those Satanists that were older that weren't absolutely defeated and destroyed. And again, only when they're chumping people and posing with the black babies they want to kill on record, which again is that lesser magic. Mark Passio, I could rant all day. It's always great to have you on. We should have you on for 2 hours, a couple of weeks. Hell, I'll fly you down here soon, be in the studio with us as soon as this hysteria is over. Of course, we're going to bring it right back. Get into the points you want to make, because I've been kind of leading the discussion about the big picture, where we are, the human awakening, how I think they're going to strike back, how these nests are, because Austin is occultic, but more new agey and sleepy. I haven't run into a lot of real Satanists here, but from your own research, it does seem that there are nests of these Satanists.
Without a doubt, there are certain power centers of control. New York is among the top in the United States. Pennsylvania is actually a really big one, a little bit west of the Philadelphia area, in a place called Rose Valley. There's places in Delaware that the DuPonts have tremendous influence over, that are satanic strongholds. Many other places in California, Florida, there's absolutely centers of it. But see, I want to sort of shift the focus away from the controlling class, the ruling class, if you will, and get to the real factors that really drive all of this, which is how the average person thinks, because the average person thinks that these people have the right to command us. The average person believes that the moral right to issue commands that other people must obey because they're coming from a ruling class called government, is somehow morally legitimate. And it's not morally legitimate. Our ego is in the way of seeing that. It's in the way of seeing the simple truth that no one has the right to command other beings. And the reason that people don't see it is they never make the simple fundamental shift of looking at the behavior from the perspective of themselves. Imagine if you were issuing commands the way these governors in some of these blue states during this so-called pandemic, issuing commands to other people about their lives.
If one nursing home owner would have come out and said, you're going to murder all the people here, that person might have gotten in trouble, but 3 months later, they'd be the hero, and they would have never gotten away with killing all these people.
Well, I mean, even more so than that, that's obviously murder, what they enacted, no question about it. But even more so than that, just think, like, would you as an individual, if you're thinking about it from your own perspective, of your own behavior, apply the behavior to yourself, would you have the right to tell everybody to close down their businesses?
No.
Would you have the right to command all people's behaviors and actions, regardless of whether there's any kind of a spread of disease or not? The whole point is we believe that these people have some sort of a right that other people don't possess.
No, I totally agree with you. So let me ask you this then. And again, I agree we should focus on us and how we can stop complying, and that's where the real power is.
Sure.
But getting back to Melinda Gates, why would she wear an upside-down cross ringed in rubies? What's the symbolism of that? Because, as I said, the Church of Satan was asked, they go, well, it's an upside-down cross, but that doesn't necessarily mean Satanism. What is this about, putting this out in our face?
Well, first of all, the Church of Satan's statement on that is completely disingenuous and misleading. It absolutely is a symbol of Satanism. It just isn't a symbol of the Church of Satan, which is a small organization that practices the satanic ideology. That's all. That does not mean that it's not a satanic symbol. That is like saying, a symbol of one particular church doesn't represent all of Christianity. Okay, it's the symbol does represent the satanic philosophy and ideology. It's the inversion principle. This is something that I've covered in my podcast series and in presentations that I've done. The inversion principle is that they want to invert morality. They don't want people to be practicing what is right, what is truly moral. They want people believing in illusion. They want people
and the Satanists claim, they're about human empowerment, but now they want Bill Gates to be able to put something in our body.
It's the ultimate form of rape. I mean, pushing any foreign substance into someone's body against their will is coercion and rape, ultimately. That's what it is. It is the violation.
So why
of the
would
body.
she do that? Obviously, I see it as a desperate act. I think they're getting weak.
They're getting off on the fact that people can't see that they're Satanists. That's what it is. It's flaunting the very symbology of their religion in front of people, and the average person is a complete dolt that cannot understand what they are even seeing in front of their eyes.
So what is the ritual? Counting two, or are they doing it because it's a lesser magic? What do you think?
It's part of a ritual. Yeah, it's a ritual of mockery. This is the mockery of the cattle, the mockery of the human sheep, of the human herd. That they're flaunting the symbol of their religious belief system right in front of the average person who has absolutely no idea what it means because they're symbolically illiterate and cannot understand that that is a symbol of worldwide Satanism, and it represents the inversion principles, the inversion of right and wrong, the inversion of good and evil, the inversion of God.
And why do they always inverse? They don't just twist. They love to totally invert.
Right, because they're trying to replace the laws of the creator of the universe, the laws of God, with their law. That's
why are they so pissed at God? Because when you get into God and the universe, it's so much more powerful than they can even imagine.
Sure. Their worldview is that the universe itself is a prison because laws exist to bring negative consequence to immoral behavior. And because that law is in effect in the universe and can never be taken out of effect in the universe because it was put there by the creator of the universe, the people who want to break that law with impunity, meaning with absolutely no consequence enacted upon themselves, believe that the universe is a prison and are raging against the natural law that governs the behavior of
Which,
the
by the way,
universe.
all these big tech billionaires are on record saying, we now believe there's other dimensions. Something's holding us here. Let's break out. And they think the silicon virtual hell they've built, they're advertising that as the new reality.
They believe natural law, which is the moral laws of the universe, the moral, spiritual laws of the universe that bring positive consequence to moral behavior and negative consequence to immoral behavior. Not all at once, not just on the individual level, but on the aggregate societal level, on the global level.
The real galactic, intergalactic, universal credit score.
It's universal karma. It's how karma truly works, not the cartoon or Hollywood version of karma. It's how it really works on a societal scale, which is one of the big parts of my work, talking about natural law.
And so that's like Faust and all of it. They're trying to escape karma. They can't do that.
It's an impossibility, but they are essentially insulating themselves as much as possible from negative karmic consequence by getting the order followers, namely the police and military.
That's why they need to trick us to acquiesce, because they believe they escape a lot of the karma by not forcing us.
They have. They actually have escaped a lot of the karma, not by not quote unquote forcing us, but by telling the police and military to do their bidding. And they say, yes, sir, I'll do that for you.
And then they all go commit suicide or their kids all die because they get the karma.
They go and do the negative behavior, the wrongdoings, the actual immoral behavior, and the karmic consequence comes heavily down upon them, and they don't understand it because they are unstudied in the laws of karma or in natural law. They don't understand.
And by the way, it's the real law. I mean, it's 100% real, like a baseball bat upside your head. And people need to get that straight, man. What comes around goes around. What you do is going to get you. Whether you believed it was right or wrong, God knows what's right and wrong. So you better be really safe. Mark Passio's on fire today. We're coming right back. I'm Alex Jones. Oh, we're told July 4th is canceled now because of COVID. If there's just one death, we have to cancel everything forever. Power grab is here, but they've only launched these attacks because they're weak and they can feel their control slipping away with the eyes of Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and Soros, and I see losers. Mark Passio of WhatOnEarthIsHappening.com, talk show host, authors, here with us. I've been